Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me again today. My name is Adija. Welcome to the Millennial Social Worker community. On this channel, I share content about social work, mental health, wellness, and lifestyle. And today I'll be taking some time to talk about the work of psychiatric social workers in the hospital. A couple of videos ago, somebody left a comment under one of my videos asking me to talk about the work of psychiatric social workers in the hospital. So here it is. Psychiatric social workers in hospitals work either in the inpatient psychiatric unit or in the partial hospitalization program, otherwise known as the PHP program. In an inpatient psych unit, patients reside at the hospital for the duration of their treatment. They live there. And in a PHP program, which is an intensive outpatient program, patients commute to the hospital up to 7 days a week for the duration of their treatment. So they live at home, but they spend their daytime in the hospital for that intensive outpatient treatment. Keep in mind that not all hospitals have a PHP program. Some PHP programs are standalone treatment centers, so just keep that in mind. Now, let me talk a little bit about the reasons why a person would even end up in a psychiatric hospital to begin with. When people are admitted into the hospital, it is usually because of one or more of these three reasons. The first is that a person, as a result of their mental illness, they're expected, within the near future to intentionally or unintentionally cause harm to themselves or others. Another reason could be that as a result of their mental illness, a person is unable to care for themselves, meaning that they're not tending to those activities of daily living, they're not attending to their basic needs, and just living themselves for potential harm. So they might not be directly trying to cause harm, but because of the behaviors that they're exhibiting, they could likely harm themselves in the future. That's another reason. The third reason could be that as a result of a person's severe and persistent mental illness, they're unable to voluntarily participate in psychiatric treatment outpatient or even adhere to treatment recommendation. So those are the three reasons why a person would even end up in a psychiatric hospital to begin with. Psychiatric social workers, they're really providing care to people at the most vulnerable points of their lives. The person gets to a point where they've either tried to cause themselves self-harm or cause somebody else harm. Things have gone a little bit too far. So at that point, they need to come to the hospital so they can get the care that they need to get back into a more appropriate level of functioning. A psychiatric social worker works independently as well as collaboratively with the treatment team. The treatment team includes, but not limited to, the psychiatrist. Then you have the psychiatric nurse, you have the mental health technicians, you have other ancillary services that could also be present as well on a psychiatric unit. Psychosocial assessment is one of the main functions of a psychiatric social worker, because you're meeting with people to try to understand what brought them to the hospital in the first place, trying to understand their home life, their work life, the stresses they have going on, just trying to understand the biopsychosocial needs of the patient or the person, that comes into the hospital. Another job function is that you will be providing psychotherapy, and it could be individual as well as group psychotherapy. Group psychotherapy in our psychiatric hospital, inpatient and in outpatient, the PHP program, it's an essential part of the treatment. Patients are expected to participate in daily group therapy. Another function of a psychiatric social worker is coordination of care and discharge planning. So as a social worker on a psych unit, you are the liaison between the patient, the nurses, the psychiatrist, their family. You're the person that's in between, trying to make sure that you're coordinating care, the best care possible for a patient. You will also be involved in having family meetings. If that's the case, when I used to work in a psychiatric unit, I had a lot of family meetings, because sometimes you have people that, come into the hospital for the first time, and you have to, have family meetings with their family members to educate them on their illness, or sometimes do some type of intervention as well with the family members. So there's a lot of coordination of care that goes on in family meetings meetings and family treatment planning meetings could be a part of what you do, depending on the organization that you work for or the needs of the patient. Discharge planning. As a psychiatric social worker, you have to ensure the proper discharge of a patient, making sure that you collaborate with the psychiatrist as well as the other members of the treatment team to make sure that the patient is participating in treatment, to evaluate whether or not they're appropriate for discharge. So you are a very important part of a patient's discharge planning process. To be a psychiatric social worker, you have to have graduate level education. It is required. I have never seen any psych social workers that had a BSW. So if you're considering going into this field, I want you to really consider going to school for your master's degree so that you can get employed in inpatient psych unit or the PHP program or other aspect of the mental health field. So you would need a graduate level education for this role. So that is about it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you've learned a thing or two from this video, I would love to hear from you. I love engaging in dialogue with you all in the comment section, and I try as much as possible to respond to everybody. So if you've learned something new from this video, or if there's anything else that you would like to add, please be sure to utilize the comment section so that we can continue the conversation. Also, if you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Follow me on Instagram at millennial_social worker. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and share. I will see you all next time on my next video. God bless you and take care. Bye.